Hello everyone, welcome you all to my YouTube channel. So today in this video we will learn what are the prime numbers and how to get the list of the prime numbers by using Java. So first of all, let's see what is the prime numbers. So prime numbers by definition, if we see, the prime numbers are the natural numbers, and in the prime numbers, number one is not included, it has been excluded. And these numbers have two factors, meaning these numbers can be divided by either by 1 or by themselves only. These numbers cannot be divided by any other number. As for example, here you can see this is the list, like number 2, 3, 5, 7 and 11. These are the prime numbers, and so on. There are many prime numbers, right? These numbers are not divided by other than 1 and they're like themselves only. Like if we talk about number 2, it can be divided by only by 1 or by 2. And if we talk about number 3, it can be divided by either 1 or by 3. Same way 5, 7 and 11. But if we talk about number 4 can be divided by 1, can be divided by 2 and can be divided by 4. So it has more than 2 factors. It has 3 factors. Same way if we talk about number 6, it can be divided by number 1, number 2, number 3, number 6. So it can be divided by 4 factors. So that's how we define the prime numbers. And now what we have to do, we have to see how we can get a list of the prime numbers by using Java code. So here what I have done, I have 3 variables. Number 1 variable is integer I that I have defined as 0, integer j that I have defined also as 0, and a string as prime number that has the null value. So what we have to do, we will use for loop, and we will be using 2 for loops. One for loop will be inside the other. So here we have to give the condition for the for loop, and here we will have the body. So inside the body, let's go back here. Inside the body, we will be having another for loop the same way we have the first case. So let's take it to the next line. That's how. So for the first loop, what we are doing, we are taking I as the to define the prime number. So we want to start it, we can start it by 1 because 1 is already excluded. That's why we can start it by 1, and by our coding we can see how it will be excluded. So I is equals to 1, and then we have to give the limitation. So here if I want, because I have defined here that I want to get the prime numbers between 1 to 20, so I can say that I is equals to less than or equal to 20, and then I want the increment. Further, for the second for loop, let's say I have this integer j, and this j will be starting by giving the value as j equals to I, and the criteria limitation condition for this will be up to j will be greater than and equal to, we will be saying greater than equal to 1. It should be either greater than or equal to 1. And then what will be the next condition? It will be j minus minus. So we are giving the decrement. Now, what we learned here in the definition that it has 2 factors. So this will help us to get the count over there. So what can we do here in these 3 variables? We can have one more variable as int count, and we can give the value for this int count as 0. So in the beginning here, before starting the second for loop, what we need, we need to start our count as, count should be what? It should be 0 before starting the second for loop. And here is there any mistake? No. Oh, yes, it is. I have to put the semicolon over here, right? So this is that thing. So now for this second for loop, what we want, as our count is starting at 0 in the initial stage of our coding, after the second loop, after the second for loop, what it should be, if we will say if if our condition is like, if we are dividing I, because is defining the prime number, if we are dividing I by j, so I module j, so remainder of this I divided by j should be 0. And if I divided by j is equals to 0, then we will get the prime number. And in that condition, what we want this if condition to be satisfied, like count plus plus. It should give us count plus plus. Okay, so after that what is the next condition? After that we can put one more condition, that if we will be giving the body and the condition. So if our count goes up to 2, if it is equals to 2, then only that number will be considered, as the prime number. Otherwise that number will not be considered as the prime number. In that situation, what we want our coding to be done, like we want this to be that as if our prime number, because we have already defined our prime number as a null, so we have to do prime num equals to prime num plus I. We are doing a concatenation over here, and let's say I want some spacing between each number, so I'll be doing plus again, and then the double quote, and then like this we can give it. So this is our prime number over here. And now after coming out of this for loop, we are coming out of this for loop after this curly brace, so we can do a seesaw, and we can say that the prime numbers are here. Prime numbers are here. So what can we do? We need to put it in the double quotes. So let's say I am putting it like this and like this here. And in the next line, what I want my prime numbers to be printed. So let's say I want prime NUM, prime numbers. So now let's check everything. We have now 4 variables: int I, j, count, and prime numbers. We have set 4 loops, 2 for loops basically, one inside the other, and 2 if conditions. And we have set our count 0 before the second loop, and also we have set our count as 2 as a condition, so that if in any situation our counter will become 2, it should define the given number as the prime number. So let's understand also how it is possible. Let's say here it is 1. So when I is 1, j also equals to 1, right? And here the condition is that j may be either 1 or greater than 1, right? And minus. So when 1 is divided by 1, it will be 0. So it satisfies the one condition, and our count will be 1. Instead of 0, it will be now 0 plus 1, so it will be 1. So our count is this condition is not getting satisfied in 14, line number 14. So our prime number will exclude as the 1. So 1 will not be considered in this prime number. When I will be 2, our j will start at 2, and when we will divide 2 by 1, when we will divide this I, 2 divided by 2, it is giving us 0. And again in the second condition, because it is saying that it is decrementing, first time it is 2, second time it will be 1, so count became 0 plus 1 equals to 1, and then it is coming back to the line number 10, and then it is giving the value for I as 2, and for j it is decrementing and it will become like 1. So I is 2 and j is 1. So again the module will be what? It will be 0. So further in the loop it will become count will be what? Because for in the initial condition count was 1, so it will be 1 plus 1, it will become 2. So this condition will get satisfied, and it should add on 2 as the prime number. For 3 also this will be the same situation. If we take the example of as I equals to 4, what will happen? Here when I equals to 4, in the first scenario, j when j is equals to 4, it will be like 4. Here if I will say it will be 4 divided by 4 will be 0. The module will be 0, and then again I is 4 and our j is 3. Then our module is not equals to, is not I'll say is not equal to 0. Then again, if there will be 4 divide by 2, our module will be what? It will be 0. And then again it will be 4 and our j is 1 and divide by 1, so it will again be 0. So what happened here? Our counter will be what? It is 0 here, 0 here and 0 here. So it became more than 2. It is not equal to 2. So now the 4 will also be excluded from this term. If we take the example of 5 the same way, let's say if in this situation if I became 5, because we are going up to 20, right? If this become 5, what will happen? It will be like 5 divided by 5 will be what? Will be 0. Right? 5 divided by 5 will be 0. 5 divided by 4, if I say 5 divided by 4, it is not equal to 0. And 5 divided by 3 is not equal to 0. 5 divided by, if I say 5 here, divide by 2, it will also not be equal to 0. And then 5 divided by 1 will be 0. So in all these three situations, it is not equal to 0 and our count will be going equals to 2. So in that situation, 5 will be considered as the prime number. So that's how this loop will keep on moving up to 20, because we have given the limitation over here for I as 20. If I'll run this code now, it will give me the prime numbers up to 20 over here. And if I change this condition here, let's say I want only up to 10, and if I run this code now, it should give me the prime numbers up to 10 only. Even if I will put here the condition as I want up to the range of 50, it should give me up to 50 over here. So that's how we can get the list of the prime number by using this kind of syntax or coding. Though it is not the only way to get the list of the prime number by Java coding, there are various ways, but this one I found the simplest one. So I hope it is understandable. Please do like, share and subscribe.